The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Could the Jets hire former Packers and likely soon-to-be former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy? One NFL insider thinks it would make sense. We'll talk about that and much more. It's a Football Friday. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man.
Shout out to Jet fans that are still showing up. I don't know what sort of dysfunctional family they grew up in, but I feel like if you parents were two people that should have broke up but never did, you're tailor-made to be a Jets fan because it's a toxic relationship. The level of swag that Jet fans wear, you would think that they had like 4 or 5 Super Bowls.
We bleed Jet green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Big thank you to everyone who continues to support this channel, despite the fact that the Jets do not want to support us. But I appreciate everyone tuning in, all the subscribers, all the real Asmaniacs. You guys are absolutely awesome. Reminder, if you want bonus content, Discord access, discounts on merch items, your name in the intro, and a bunch of other bonus perks, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. A lot to get into here on the show. I do want to mention this. If you did not watch Fireman Ed this morning on the program in his weekly spot, you have to check that out. He is fired up. That was about as angry as I've ever seen Fireman Ed, who typically is about as positive of a Jet fan as anyone out there. So check that out if you want to watch Fireman Ed's rant against the organization earlier this morning. All right, let's talk about the future head coach of this team. A day after Brian Costello suggested that he could see the Jets hiring Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy, NFL insider Dianna Russini floated out Mike McCarthy.
I've seen some chatter about, could Mike McCarthy go to New York? Would Aaron Rodgers want to go back with his former head coach at Green Bay?
Okay, you're blowing my mind right now.
Put yourself in Aaron's shoes, all right? You just experienced a disastrous 2 years. From the firings to the ownership decisions to just the dysfunction that is the New York Jets. You're not really used to that, right? You just were in Green Bay where you're beloved, you're a hero, you're worshipped, and you had success. It wasn't perfect, but you had success. How quick are you to run back to what you know? This is already a quarterback who likes familiarity. Look at who he's brought to New York. Who is he most familiar with? Mike McCarthy.
Okay, so just because Rodgers used to be coached by McCarthy years ago at this point, that doesn't mean it would make sense to hire him. And look, Mike McCarthy's resume, when you look at it, it's obviously better than some of the other options that people have suggested. It is, right? Mike McCarthy in his career is 170 and 108-2. He won the Super Bowl with Rodgers in 2010. In Dallas, this is his 5th season. He's 45-31. You look at his playoff record, though, it's 1-3. And the Cowboys have obviously had an enormous amount of talent the last couple of years, and this year it's been a disaster. Injuries, salary cap woes. They didn't spend a lot of money in free agency. And it just feels like McCarthy, who's a lame duck right now, he will be out at the end of the year. But that doesn't mean the Jets should hire McCarthy just because Aaron Rodgers is familiar with him. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers was still like that version that Mike McCarthy coached in Green Bay, it would make more sense. But when it ended in Green Bay, it ended for good reason. It got stale in Green Bay. And other than the Jets, Mike McCarthy is the only coach in the league that runs a similar offense. And the Jets need to modernize their offense, not go back to what Aaron wants. I don't think Rodgers has been as bad as some in this fan base have said. But he's certainly not what he was. We all can acknowledge that. And I do think with better coaching and certainly a better kicker, this team is not 3-7, right? I think they're at least 5-5, 6-4. They should be better. I agree with all that. And McCarthy's a better coach than Saleh. He's a better coach than whatever the Jeff Ulbrich experience is right now. But that's not the answer. Giving a guy a third opportunity to be a head coach. And I don't think it's going to happen either. Because if you remember, there were a lot of reports that came out when the Jets did interview McCarthy, the year they ended up hiring Gase, that they were not very impressed with McCarthy in the interview process. Now, they hired Adam Gase, so take that information and do whatever you want with it. But that was the story at the time. And I just think Mike McCarthy's run his course. You know, he's been a head coach for 18 years. I think the game's kind of passed him by. I think they need a more modernized approach. And I don't think just because Aaron Rodgers is familiar with McCarthy, that makes sense to hire him. We're past that at this point. If they hire Mike McCarthy, then what are we doing, man? Then everything people say about, well, Rodgers pulling all the strings, then it ends up being true because I think a lot of that is overblown, right? Like getting Devontae Adams makes sense. Oh, why would they do that? Well, at the time, we thought this team was capable of turning it around, and it made sense because you were getting nothing from any of the other receivers not named Garrett Wilson. Right? I had no issue at the time with them signing Lazard. And honestly, when Lazard's played this year with Rodgers, he's been a nice player. He's been fine. Randall Cobb, I mean, he was supposed to be the 5th or 6th receiver a year ago. Oh, but they're catering to what Rodgers wants. I had no issue with Cobb coming in. We saw how valuable he was on Hard Knocks last summer, teaching the young receivers the offense and the routes and all that. We never got to see what Cobb could have done with Rodgers if he could have been, you know, more productive than what Xavier Gibson was last year as a rookie. Right? You really go through it, and you could explain each move and why at the time it made sense. You can't explain hiring Mike McCarthy. You can't. I'm not even saying he's a brutal head coach. He's terrible. I think he's in a tough spot dealing with Jerry Jones. But come on, man. The resume is the resume. They haven't won the big one down there. They struggle in the playoffs. It just feels like it's run its course with Mike McCarthy being an option for the Jets. Just because, what, Rodgers is familiar with him? I mean, how much sway does Aaron Rodgers have at this point? Because I'm one of the Jet fans that, look, I'll see how the next 7 games go. I have the right to change my mind based on new information, and there's still 7 games of information to gather here. But I'm one of the Jet fans who believes, logically looking at Rodgers' contract and looking at the other options at quarterback, it makes sense for him to be here next year, with the caveat being new regime, modernize the offense, and you're going to go out there and you're going to draft a quarterback. Those 3 things need to happen if Rodgers is here next year. Because look at the alternatives. You're going to start Tyrod Taylor next year. He's going to get hurt, and then you're going to end up forcing that rookie to play anyway. Or it's Jordan Travis, and I don't know what he is. There's too many variables. Rodgers' cap hit next year is $23 million. Whether you cut him now or you spread out the money, you're going to have to deal with the salary cap ramifications at some point. I'm trying to win next year while also thinking about my future, because I think the Jets this year are the Chargers last year. Better coaching, and they're competing for a playoff spot, and I'm very mediocre, as we've seen, AFC for the 2nd year in a row. So I don't see the point in hiring Mike McCarthy. If we're going to hire Mike McCarthy, just hire Rex at that point. All right? Or if we're going to bring in the overweight football coach again, I'll bring in the guy who was successful the last time he was the Jet head coach. I'd rather that. We're going to do the McCarthy stuff. I'd rather Gruden over McCarthy, honestly. McCarthy doesn't feel like an energizer, a culture changer like Gruden is. I really don't want McCarthy. Rex is not my first choice. Gruden's not my first choice. But you don't consider Aaron Rodgers' opinion as gospel here. This is no longer all about winning around Rodgers next year. If he's here, he's the bridge quarterback. He's what, Sam Darnold was this year in Minnesota. He is what Joe Flacco has been in his career, right? He's now the veteran that is playing until the rookie's ready. And if Aaron plays great, it's going to be his job. And I still think Rodgers is capable of being a top 15 quarterback next year if things break the right way. I don't think that's crazy. He was awful this past Sunday, but let's remember the circumstances of the game, what happened with the defense, the hole they put themselves in. They moved the ball the first 2 drives, double-digit play drives, and then they couldn't score in the red zone. It's not good enough. But we're also, a previous game removed from Rodgers looking like him, old MVP Rodgers against Houston. And there's been times this year he's played well enough for the team to win, and the team has failed him. But you don't hire McCarthy because it's Aaron Rodgers. That's what he wants. No, we're past that. You know what the Jets need to do? Do what's in the best interest of the Jets. And if Rodgers is not cool with that, then he won't be here next year. They will cut him. Either they take the $49 million dead cap next year, and they're going into like a quasi rebuild, or they spread it out over 2 years. And with the cap going up every year, it's manageable. They do have a lot of cap space. But Mike McCarthy, no thank you. No thank you. The whole point of a new regime coming in, I think you got to modernize this offense. I can't do it with McCarthy. I'm sorry. I can't. The Jets would be just laughed at by everybody, and rightfully so if they hired McCarthy. And look, his resume is obviously, when you look at it, he's accomplished a lot. But I just think at this stage, the game has passed him by, and I just think the optics of bringing in Mike to coach a 42-year-old at the end of next year, Aaron Rodgers, like, why? Why? You're not winning the Super Bowl next year. You could be competitive. Maybe you could be a playoff team if things break your way. There's going to be a very average to below average team that makes the playoffs in the AFC this year. Not two of them. 8 and 9 might actually get you in if you look at some of the advanced projections and stuff like that. So it's not crazy to think with better coaching, the Jets are fighting for a spot next year when 7 teams make the playoffs. But we're not talking Super Bowl next year. If we are, great. I'd love to be wrong about that. So you're thinking about your long-term future, which is the succession plan at quarterback, because you can't win in this league without a legit quarterback. You also need the right head coach. And it's been a long time since Mike McCarthy has been considered one of the top coaches in the sport. I mean, that Super Bowl season was in 2010. That was the last time the Jets made the playoffs, to put in perspective how long ago that is. Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Jet fans, any interest in Mike McCarthy, or you're good? You're good. Jets Colts on Sunday, as promised. I have an underdog pick 'em I want to share with the Asmaniacs. So here we go. We'll go through it. Underdog, download the app, promo code Asman. You can take these picks, or you can make your own. Anthony Richardson, longest rush. We're going higher than 13.5 yards. I mean, come on now. We've all watched this run defense. Aaron Rodgers, passing touchdowns. I think he throws at least 2 this week. He's done that in a lot of the games this year. I think he bounces back. Tough for the offense to be any worse. I think Rodgers throws 2 touchdowns. We're going higher on passing touchdowns. I think Garrett, against this Colts secondary, is going to break at least 70-plus receiving yards. His number here is set at 67.5. We're on the higher for Wilson receiving yards. And then Jonathan Taylor, I mean, you're starting a rookie quarterback, or basically a rookie, because Richardson got hurt last year. Jets' run defense stinks. Why wouldn't they ground and pound a lot? Taylor, higher than 18.5 rushing attempts. He's gone over 20 in 2 of the last 3 games. So we're playing the percentages with this one. These are my underdog picks. Get your first deposit matched up to $1,000 when you sign up for Underdog, and use that promo code Asman. If you're watching the show live right now, I got a link that will take you directly to the Underdog website, whether you're on your phone or a computer, and you click the link, boom, it will take you to my pick'ems, and it will automatically, I should say, enter it for you. Shout out to Underdog for being a part of our show. Once again, promo code Asman, download the app and be a part of it. All right, here we go. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Super chat from Josh, who writes in, AR is technically top 10 right now in some statistical categories, but not in like the advanced stuff. Completion percentage above expected, DVOA as an offense. You can't tell me watching Aaron Rodgers he's a top 10 quarterback right now. Is he better than anything this franchise has had since 2015? Yeah, he actually is if you look at it. But he's not top 10 right now. Bong Jovi writes in, go Jets, I don't give a bleep. Shout out to the entire Jets family. Jake, you the man. Thank you, Bong Jovi. The legend Bobby Midnight writes in, hi Jake, my friend. Could we call in to talk to her? I will behave. Bobby saw Dianna Russini in the thumbnail and immediately thought we were having her on the show. Notice how he said, I will behave. Bob, I don't trust you.
Calm your freaky down.
Tough to trust you, Bob. Given your history. All right, let's open up the Gusbuster hotline right now. Let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who's first. Hey, Kyle.
What's going on, Jake? I don't know how we can think that people are going to laugh at us for McCarthy and not think that they're not going to laugh at us for Gruden or Rex. Like, part of the reason I think this season spiraled is that the hyenas were waiting to pounce. They want the Jets to fail. And when things don't go exactly right, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we spiral. Now, there's a lot that the players had to deal with it. There's a lot that the coaching had to do with it. You don't quite meet the benchmarks, and then everything snowballs. But I don't think that we can do anything that is going to stop people on the outside of this franchise, people who are not fans, people who are not devotees, or from laughing at us. The best we could do to kind of lessen the impact is to hire an unknown first-time head coach, probably on the offensive side. That's my thought on it. What do you think?
So you want offensive-minded coach, even if they'd never done it before. That's the preference.
Yes. Well, the one exception to that might be Vrabel, because you would probably want someone who is a little bit more disciplinarian, a little bit someone who is going to kind of be the CEO, who will come in, maybe a younger Belichick disciple, not Belichick himself, that might be able to kind of right the ship. He might be the one exception to the rule. That's kind of how I feel about it. I would be okay with Vrabel interviews. I would be okay with Cliff interviews. I would be okay with Ben Johnson interviews, obviously. But we got to get this fixed. There's too much talent on this team to go on like this.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I think in a perfect world, Kyle, you do want the offensive guy. It's just, you look at some of the top candidates, a lot of them are defensive guys. It's the reality. If you could get Vrabel, he's my number one. I don't care if he's a defensive guy. They need someone to change the culture. And we use that word in sports, and at times it's overrated. I think it applies with the Jets. I think you look at Jim Harbaugh, right? He shows up to the Chargers, completely flips everything with probably a worse roster. If you look at some of the moves, they were in cap hell this offseason. They had to cut Mike Williams. They traded Keenan Allen. Like, who's Justin Herbert throwing the ball to? But they have an identity. They run the ball. They play smart. They don't beat themselves. They're good on special teams, and they win games. So, to me, Mike Vrabel, he's a defensive guy. Well, you know what? The guy's won. And he's also hired 2 offensive coordinators that have then gone on to be head coaches. So, he can hire a staff, which is also important. Honestly, Rex hired a great staff, too, when he first got to the Jets. Rick says, I'm sold on Gruden. Pay the man. A lot of Jet fans really love this Gruden idea. I can't say you're wrong for liking the idea. He's better than some of the other options out there, and he's offensive-minded.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed, too.
Yeah. It's fun to, playing that clip for Ed on the show this morning. Brian writes in, the Jets have fans that are waiting for the team to fail. Yeah. You have the media that at times it feels like they want the team to fail, and fans that want the team to fail, like this guy.
Warning, warning, Allen alert. Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning, Allen alert. Hide the children.
Good morning, Jacob, or good afternoon, Jacob. First of all, that Shadow Realm visit in the first show was so unwarranted, okay?
Well, you got sent to the hole, actually. It wasn't even the Shadow Realm.
It was, I'm waiting for my apology.
Why?
Okay, because I did not deserve to get Shadow Realmed or sent to the hole.
Your comment was,
but
correct
did you
me if I'm
realize
wrong.
why I made it? Hold on. Do you realize why I made the comment? You don't. Somebody came on the show, on the chat, and said Drew Aller reminds him of Josh Allen. I had to make fun of him because Drew Aller on his best day wouldn't be Josh Allen on his worst day. And then Josh Allen is going to beat Patrick Mahomes on Sunday, and that's why I made the comment. I'm a fan of his. I'm sorry. I'm a Jet fan. I could be a fan of the quarterback as well. 2 Jet comments. Dianna Russini.
I stand by sending you to the hole. You were like, Josh Allen's going to beat the Chiefs on Sunday. It's like, great. Thanks for sharing that on the Jet channel.
He is. Dianna Russini sounds more like a National Enquirer writer than she does an athletic writer, okay? Here in Dallas, they've wanted McCarthy gone for months. They've wanted him gone since the end of last season. And we're going to take their garbage like we did with Adam Gase. Please, enough. I don't want Mike McCarthy. His time is past. Enough, okay? One other Jet comment. Referring to the earlier show, Quinnen Williams got 4 years, $96 million. Aleem McNeil got 4 years, $97 million. They play the same position. Aleem McNeil played 87% of the snaps Sunday night. Can you tell me why this moronic coaching staff is not playing him as much as Aleem McNeil? They play the same position. Why? What are they doing? I can't watch Kinlaw. I can't watch Michael Clemens. Those guys shouldn't be playing 10% of the snaps. It's ridiculous, and it all started with Saleh, who decided, you know what, let me play all these garbage players 40 to 70% of the snaps. And that's why players don't want to come here. They want to earn their money. They want to play more, okay? That's my comparison. McNeil just got paid, and he got 87% of the snaps last Sunday night. That's why you can't take this coaching staff seriously.
Alan, I actually agree with all that. And here's the point I'd go further with this. In the past, when they would do the D-line rotation, you couldn't argue with it because it was working. They've had a top 3 defense the last 2 years. The defense was the single reason why this team, despite losing Rodgers 4 plays in, was able to be competitive for most of the season. Actually, at one point was 4-3. This defensive line is not that defensive line. They don't have Jermaine Johnson. He's been out since week 2. They obviously got rid of JFM for nothing. Reddick wasn't here until halfway through the year and obviously has not been a dominant force that they thought he'd be. Maybe he would have been if he was here the whole time and had a real training camp. But he doesn't, right? So it's not the same defensive line. You're playing Michael Clemens. And to Alan's point about the D-line rotation, Fireman Ed talked about this earlier. Jalen Carter, right? Shout out to Tommy Keenan who tweeted me this. Jalen Carter, the stud DT for the Eagles. He played all 66 plays for them last night. You know, you have to adjust. This coaching staff doesn't adjust. Oh, they have their philosophy. We rotate guys in and out. Yeah, that works when you have the depth the Jets have had up front. But Douglas destroyed the defensive line, and it's not his fault Jermaine got hurt, but that's a part of it. Also, Allen trying to justify me wrongly sending him to the hole because he had to make fun of the guy who had a different take than him is classic. Shout out to Tom Ace for pointing that one out. Oscar writes in, Jake, I like Steve Spagnuolo from the Chiefs and Kingsbury from Washington. My number 1 would be Gruden. I would interview Spags. No one talks about Spags. He only got one opportunity to be a head coach. He's been engulfed in the Kansas City winning the last several years, and he's been a big reason why they've won, right? Their defense has been incredible. Spags is a guy who can handle the New York market. He's been here with the Giants. He was the intern head coach for the Giants, too, after they fired. Was it after they fired McAdoo? I think it was after they fired McAdoo. I like Spags. He never gets any opportunities to interview again. And I get it. He didn't win his first go-around as a head coach. But, you know, the guy's from the East Coast. He's from Massachusetts. He obviously knows the market here. I mean, I think if you're ever going to put a coordinator in the Hall of Fame, Spags would be it, right? I mean, guy's defense was responsible for slowing down the greatest offense and maybe one of the greatest teams, if not the greatest team in NFL history in Super Bowl 42. And then has won 3 championships with Kansas City. He's won the Super Bowl 4 times as a coordinator. I'd at least interview him, man. You want a culture setter, or someone who has experience before, probably learned from his first stint as a head coach? Give him a chance, man. Now, look, Spags got 3 years with the Rams, and they sucked. They were terrible. He was 10-38. He was 1-15 his first year. That team was terrible. Then 7-9, 2-14, and he got fired after that. But, I mean, look at those teams. They were horrendous. Yeah, I guess it'd be a tough sell, but I don't know. I'd at least interview him. I'm a little biased because I know Spags personally. He's always willing to come on the show, and I've had him on the radio, but that's an idea. Kingsbury, I think you definitely interview. I'm not saying he was great his first go-around, but you know what? Neither was Dan Quinn. And Kingsbury's offensive-minded. I don't know if he's the guy you want to give the job to. I don't know if he's like a head coach, leader, could change the culture, that type of stuff, but the approach of interviewing people with experience, I think, is important. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Joseph, who's on the line. What's up, Joseph?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, Joseph.
Hello. So I will say this. I absolutely love the idea of McCarthy. As much as I love eating butter.
I knew there had to be some sort of joke coming. There it is.
No, I think McCarthy obviously is stupid. Stupid idea. Absolutely insane. I really like the idea, and I know I've been talking about this in a lot of mine. I'm really starting to wrap my brain around it. I really like the idea of John Gruden and trying to see if we can get a day ball as an offensive coordinator, 2 quarterback gurus to train that rookie that we would hopefully draft. If we can get both of those guys, I would be really happy with that.
So, yeah, I mean, look, the more you talk about the pros and cons of someone like Gruden, I think you could do a lot worse than him, you know? I really think you could.
Yeah, I mean, there's all tiers, right? Tier 1, I think Vrabel. That's about it. Tier 2, then you got the John Gruden, I think, Super Bowl champion. I know it's a long, long time ago, but I think it's worth it. Once again, even if we're not that well and we feel like next year might be a patch year anyway, why not for the rookie quarterback if we get one?
That's the thing, right? You want to have a staff that could develop a rookie quarterback if you could go down that path in the first round.
Yeah. Or even for Travis. I mean, I'm not even really sold on getting I know we don't know anything about Travis. Obviously, his pedigree is not a first-round contender. But the problem is what I have with next year's draft, and we'll see how draft goes. I don't want the Jets reaching for a quarterback if there isn't a quarterback worthwhile taking. Draft back, fall back a little, and then take them at the end of the first round and get some more picks. But I don't want the Jets to reach, and that's such a Jets thing to do is reach. And so that's my biggest fear about taking somebody in the first round.
It is a legitimate fear, Joseph. Good call. You know, we'll see how it plays out, though, right? Oh, how many guys are even going to go in the first round right now? And then we get to the offseason, and we've done this how many times where we see the quarterbacks move up the boards over time? Every year. The only year it actually didn't happen, and I thought it would, was the Kenny Pickett year when he was the only one that went in the first round. I'm like, there's got to be someone who's going to take a quarterback. It just never happened. And there was no one in the second round that year, too, which was wild. I don't think you had any other quarterback get drafted till Malik Willis in the third round that year, I think. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We are seeking channel members. If you want to support the channel and allow me to continue to do this show full time, hit that join button, become an official Asmaniac, or turn on gift receipts. And you never know when someone might drop a membership gift to all who are watching. Someone said that Joseph looks like Seth Rogen. It's a good comp right there. I like that. More of your calls right now. Coach Brick is on the line. What's up, Coach?
Good evening. Good afternoon, Jets fans. It was a tough game from the sidelines in Arizona this past weekend. I thought they were going to ask me to go in at linebacker to actually make a tackle.
You couldn't have done worse. There's no doubt.
No, it was sad. Sitting in this. Oh, that stadium is fantastic, by the way. It's beautiful. For those who travel to Jets games, put that on the list of places to go. Easy to get in, easy to get out. Jets fans didn't get made fun of too much because our team didn't show up. But how about that for some field goals? Woo! We're going to surely count on that field goal kicker this week, aren't we?
Yeah, he'll be back, right? Yeah. Good job by Joe Douglas with that one, huh?
well done. I heard that he said, yeah, I'll sign you to the 53. And he's like, no, thanks. I'd rather be a rental on the undefeated team than come play with you. You know what? So tinfoil hats. Got the idea from this morning's call. So I already sent out for some Costco tinfoil for the locker room. We're definitely going to have some tinfoil hats made up. And we're definitely going to bring in a new nutritionist to talk about this whole salad, lettuce, meat idea for the team, because we're doing something wrong. We think that will help tackling this weekend. I'm concerned about a mobile quarterback. I saw it firsthand in Arizona. So while I was really hoping it was a Joe Flacco reunion week, it's not. I think we're in trouble. We need to contain him. We did not contain Murray. That was a problem. It was hard to watch. To my comment earlier about Jets fans hating on the Jets, I think we're a tortured fan base that is super passionate. I think we ought to start redefining what a Jets fan really means. I think there needs to be two camps. It's not about being positive or optimistic. It's about what is fandom. As much as I love seeing Jets logos and whatnot on people, criticizing and being so down on them to the point where it's bringing your life down, I don't think is what we all need. I think we need more positivity. I know we're the champ.
Be positive right now, Coach.
I mean, what's positive? They should be signing Jeremy and Sherwood to an extension right now with the money that they're going to gain in cap space from putting Tyron Smith on IR and not playing him again for the year. Getting Olu some snaps. Let's get the young fellas in the game plan. I like some of the ideas that I've heard thrown out there on bring in a coach now, have them evaluate what we've got. I don't think we call it a coach. I think we call it a special advisor. We don't rock the boat. Don't let them make decisions. Let them behind if one of these guys wants to get paid, okay, come in.
You're not bringing anyone in now at this point. They're gonna see it through.
I mean, come in as an advisor. Right now, if there is any seriousness to the Rex Ryan, which Rex is great on TV. He was so much fun for a couple of years, and then I was ready for him to go as a fan. But if you want to bring him in now. You've made the point. Have him evaluate what's going on behind the scenes. That way we get a jump start if he's the guy.
Yeah, but he's not the GM though, right? He wouldn't be the GM. He would be the coach. So what is he? He's evaluating the roster. I don't see why that would happen. And you don't ever see NFL teams do that either. So it is what it is, man. There's 7 games left. I'll tell you what. I think the Jets are going to win on Sunday. I've said that now. I picked against the Jets the last 2 games, so I'm 1-1. I do think they're going to win Sunday, but after what I saw earlier online, now I'm starting to reconsider my pick.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Jets. Let's take down the one true Rodgers. This is our team. Go Colts!
Now I'm not so sure, man. I mean, Seth DeFlo dropping that track today got me reconsidering a lot. That's the Colts fan of the year, by the way. He's going to the Super Bowl this year. He does those songs every week. And when the schedule came out and I knew they were playing the Colts, I'm like, I can't wait. It just doesn't hit as hard when the Jets are 3-7. Tough. Blitz BK, we're going to need a response from you to Colts fan Seth there. I love this comment right here. Where'd it go? Jake is delusional. Jets are going to lose again. How am I delusional? They're actually a 4-point favorite in this game. I picked against them last week, and I picked against them against the Texans. You probably thought they were going to lose to the Texans too, right? I don't know, I just have a weird feeling they're going to win. They're at home. I don't think the Colts are that good. I think Richardson will turn it over a few times. I do think the Jets get at least one interception on Sunday. That streak will end. Maybe Sauce can come up with a pick after all the drama this past week. That'd be nice. Sauce comes up with an interception. We'll replace his O'Leary Sauce emoji with something else. It would be funny if it is Sauce, given everything happening. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Purple Belt Mike writes in, is Downing bad as an OC if Vrabel's the head coach? I think they'd hire someone else. I think Downing might be on the staff as a quarterback coach, though. Assuming his relationship with Vrabel is still strong. Dan writes in, does Ober get canned at the end of the year? I mean, I think depending on who the head coach is, they're going to want to hire their own staff. I wish Ulbrich the best, though, man. I really don't put this on him. He's in over his head. It's not his fault. I think he should be a DC for someone next year. If there's a way to keep him on this team somehow, depending on who the head coach is, I'm not completely against it. I think Ulbrich's a good coach. I just think the problems on this team are just too much. Too much. Joseph writes in, I put all this on Beningo. Nobody writes more about Joe B than this guy. What is your deal with Joe? I can't take it anymore. What are we doing here? Goodbye.
I'm glad to be in Asman's Shadow Realm.
Into the Shadow Realm you go.
Aaron Rodgers is a glutton for fame. I don't think he loves his teammates. I think he loves attention.
GFY. First word is go and the last word is yourself. Boom.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Comments, questions, your super chats will cut the line. Appreciate everyone for your support. We've only gotten one super chat so far. That was from Josh earlier. Appreciate you, Josh. Let's continue with your calls right now. Let's say hello to the great Edward Ziff. What's up, Edward?
Oh, God. Where do we go from here? I just, who knows anymore? I just wish I had money to put down on financial wagering. I probably would have made a shit ton last year. I knew they were going to lose in Arizona. They never do well flying west. Never. I mean, forever. They've never done well flying west. When have they ever, in your any recollection?
Well, I don't think they've
ever done well on a western trip.
Yeah, I don't think they've won a game in the Pacific time zone since like 2017.
Correct. So why would you not have bet like $1,000 on Arizona to win? It's just crazy. The only thing that I was going to do it, but the only thing that scared me is they beat the Texans. So I was like, well, no, you don't never bet the Jets because they always, get you when it comes to wagering.
Anyway, a couple questions for you here from the chat.
Go ahead.
Boomtown wants to know, are you wearing pants?
Yeah, of course I'm wearing pants.
Dan wrote, is Ed wearing pants? I don't know. A lot of people still remember one of your memorable calls from over the summer.
I was wearing pants, so they just weren't trousers.
Right.
It's not like I was free balling or going commando or whatever.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Nah. Are you wearing pants? Can't
Always.
see your bottoms. Always?
Oh, I'm wearing pants.
So you have sex with your pants on?
I didn't say that. I just said I'm wearing pants.
Anyway, Jake, what's up? Have you heard from Boy Green?
I texted him the other day. I mean, he's dealing with a hernia on top of just having a newborn. So
I told you that. So I was just plus he's got 2 kids and a hernia, so he can't even carry them. His girlfriend probably wants to slap him around a little bit. But I hope if you talk to him, just tell him that Easy tells him feel better, and I hope everything's going well with him. So
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Yes, he's going to lose his bananas. Maybe that's how he got the hernia, lifting bananas. Who the hell knows? Anyway, so coaching things. I mean, I really would like an offensive-minded coach, unless we get Vrabel or Rex. Those would be the only two defensive-minded head coaches that I'd want. But I would love to get Gruden. If we could get Gruden, that would be great. And if Rex says he loves the Jets that much and he'd be willing to come back as a defensive coordinator under Gruden, for some reason, I just think that would work because it would just take the pressure off him having to be the guy, and he could just be the guy without being the guy.
I don't think Rex's ego would allow him to be the DC of the Jets when he's the most successful coach this franchise has had, you could argue, since Weeb Eubank. So I don't think that would ever happen.
But he might want to do it because the Jets are his boyhood team.
Yeah, but I think
he's one of us. That's the thing. Rex is one of us.
I get it.
He is a New York Jets fan. He's
got
the one who was like,
pride.
play like a Jet.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be his saying if he was not the head coach.
Jesus, what do we have to put a pair of women's shoes on the helmet to get him back? Come on. I think if he would be willing to listen, if he would have been willing to swallow his pride to play for the Jets, to coach for the Jets as a DC, would you want him?
I mean, if Rex wanted to be the DC with Gruden as the head coach, that's very intriguing. I also think there's maybe a battle of egos there too. I don't think that's happening.
And who would you get as OC?
Who's the head coach?
If Gruden's the head coach, who would you get as offensive coordinator?
I mean, if Brian Dable gets fired, I'd call him.
What about this? A blast from a couple of years back. Bieniemy. Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy, I think, is one of the most overrated candidates out there. There's a reason why he never got a head coaching job. Never had success anywhere besides with Patrick Mahomes. I'm good on Bieniemy. He interviewed for like 30 jobs over 5 years. No one hired him. I'm good. If you hire Rex, you're not having Gruden, and vice versa. If you hired Gruden, his OC might be his brother, Jay, who was the head coach of the Redskins. Or were they already the football team when he was there? I don't remember. I think they were still the Redskins when he was there. Because then they hired, Ron Rivera after that? What a call from Eddie Ziff there, huh? That was something. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryad has gifted a channel membership. Thank you, Ryad.
This is our cult. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our cult. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Jets. Let's take down the one true Rodgers. This is our team. Go Colts!
Oh, that's a horse sound effect right there. Ryad, your membership went to listener Cosmo87. Thank you, Ryad. Appreciate your support. Jets being 3-7 means no one wants to gift memberships or super chat anymore. Jesus Jerry says Tom Petty free falling. Well done. In response to the Eddie call there. I am curious, right? So that sound effect that Seth, the Colt fan who puts out those videos every week, made there, is it better than maybe a sound effect the great Bobby Midnight can make if we asked him to make a horse sound effect?
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob.
What do you think, Bob?
First of all, that guy he better not quit his day job. That's for sure.
I think it's pretty good.
I think he better not quit his day job. That's what I have to say. I didn't even know him. He's a Colt fan.
Would you want him on your show?
No.
I'm
sorry. I thought you were gonna have her on. I was gonna behave myself.
I don't trust you. You would not have behaved yourself.
Yes, I would. There we go.
No, yeah, beautiful woman on the show. No way.
You have to tie me down to the chair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Calm your freaky down.
That's true. Calm my freaky down. I agree with you. Yeah, I don't know if I could do a horse sound though.
Give us your best Colt sound effect.
Nay! How's that?
That's pretty good. You want to try again?
Nay! Oh, wait. I have my hat there. Nay! Like that. I think that's how we do it.
That was good.
About Mr. Ed. Get Mr. Ed to talk. He's a great horse. You met remember Mr. Ed?
Mr. Ed?
Yeah, ask your dad about Mr. Ed. It's a horse that talks. They really had, like, they gave him peanut butter to talk. That's what they said behind
I
the
see.
scene. Yeah. So I'm the only one going down. But Michael's not going down to December 1st.
Oh, for the Seahawks game?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the way back, I'm going to be lonely in the train. So that's stuff.
Let's watch a YouTube show.
Yeah, you'd be on.
Yeah.
I watched you on YouTube when we were going down there.
See? There you go.
And you were good. I forgot who you had on that. It was a Friday. No. Wait a minute. No, not Friday. It was a Thursday.
We got the point. Yep.
Yeah, I get the point there. So I hope you enjoy where you have to be at 5:30.
It's a mystery, Bob.
Probably another day. Have some salad, right?
I mean, I've had salad the last 2 nights, and it hasn't killed me yet, so I don't know what Gary's talking about.
No, I don't. I really don't think salad. Well, I told Gary I don't eat very much vegetables. And I want to bring a point out. Is Hamburger back there?
No. Where is he?
Because I want to bring a point out, which I am very upset about.
What's your point?
He comes on the show with a megaphone, and he yells at Gary, Hamburger, you better just know your role. Gary's been here longer than you, and you just better know your role, okay? Because I like Gary. You don't just come on and yell at him, okay? You're a good guy, but you're overstepping your back. Oh, there he is, Mr. Smiley Face. I said happy birthday to you, and you treat my friend like that. You don't come on with that attitude. No, I'm gonna stick up for I'm sticking up for my friend Gary. Oh yeah, congratulations, you got October. Congratulations, oh big deal. But I do like you, and I sing happy birthday to you. But you got to respect people. You don't come on with a megaphone and treat.
Pretty sure I wasn't disrespectful, Bobby, when I first came on.
Yes, you were. You were yelling at him. I wanted to get on the show. I should have got on my show and stick that right up your butt.
See, now you're being rude.
Well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not.
Yes, you are. See how the tables have turned.
Well, are you going to be down there December 1st?
No, I will be at this Sunday's game, though.
Well, I won't be.
Yeah, I'll be at this Sunday's game.
I just want you to be nice to Gary, okay? He's a good guy.
Listen, I'm not. My daughter loves Gary. It's all in good fun, Bobby. There's nothing mean or anything that wants to come out of my mouth. Just like in the Discord, I'm trolling him and told him I'm joking, but he just doesn't get it sometimes. I told him that I'm joking, but he just sometimes he doesn't get it. It's all good fun. I have no mean intentions about it.
Remember, you got hit in the head a lot of times. You got hit in the head a lot of times. So.
Well, that's okay. There's no ill will.
I just love you. Okay? I stick up for my friends. You get it to be my friend, but you gotta know your role, okay? Be nice.
Well, I don't know what my role is, so I'm defining it
your
as
role. I know your role is you're the best caller in October. But Gary's
everybody on the show contributes equally. I was very lucky to get that #1 spot. Everybody in the show contributed.
You deserve it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but I just want you to have respect for my friends. Because if you step on them,
it was all in good fun, Bobby. It was fun. And it was good entertainment.
Now I understand. Okay.
Yeah, it was entertainment.
Okay. Yeah, like I do with me and Alan on the show. Yeah. Okay.
Correct. It's all in good fun. I don't mean any ill will, and I'm sure most people don't will.
I love you. I love you. You're a great guy.
I love you.
This is our cult. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts, whether win or lose. We love them. For the shoe, beat the Jets. Let's take down the one true Rodgers. This is our team. Go Colts!
Yeah. What a moment there between Bobby Midnight and the hamburger. Incredible. Some super chats here. Nick Shine wrote in that Bobby sounded like the horse in The Godfather dying. Kyle, I see your super chat, but I'm not going to read it for obvious reasons, but I appreciate the $2. Bo says Gruden, Joe Brady. Why would Joe Brady leave the Bills where he's the OC to be unless you're just saying you'd interview Joe Brady as a head coaching candidate? That no problem interviewing him, fine. But Gruden as the head coach and then Joe Brady as the OC, he wouldn't take a lateral move. Nick Shine makes the point I said earlier. If you hire Gruden, Gruden's the OC. Well, John, I'm sure, would call the plays, or his brother would. Gruden would be calling the plays, I would imagine, if you hire him. I think that's a fair assumption. Oscar says Jake has beef with that Colts. I have no beef with him. I love Seth. What's the guy's name? I was just so excited for Jet Colt Week when I saw these videos all year keep coming up. I'm like, I can't wait for the Jet one. And then here we are. The team's 3-7. It's not as enjoyable as I thought it would be. It's interesting that Bobby took the Gary's defense, by the way. Very interesting. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Purple Belt Mike, who says he's quitting the Jets, but yet he's here every day. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, I'm not going to quit on them. I'm just not going to believe in them. That's the difference. I don't believe in them at all. I don't think that they're going to have – I don't know, man. It's going to be a rough time. I don't see them turning it around in a year, regardless of who they bring in. I have a feeling if we hire Rex, we're going to have a shit offense. If we hire Vrabel, we're going to have a shit offense. If we hire Gruden, we're going to have a shit defense and probably a shit offense too. I don't know. I don't have any faith.
So what would you suggest, Mike? Does you just give up, fold the franchise?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so just basically nothing they do will work. Got it. I mean, all right. Why bother watching? Mike is so depressed, man. I love Purple Belt Mike. He was as positive as anyone this year. He calls me on the radio. In fact, he found the show through my radio stuff on ESPN New York, which I'm on, by the way, 4 to 6:30. So if you want my initial reaction to Jets Colts, 4 to 6:30, you'll get it. Then we'll do the YouTube postgame show at 6:30 Sunday. But, man, stop seeing Mike that way. Dark Crypto, someone should make a Jet song just like his. If someone could do a Jet version of the This Is Our Cult song, and you can get it to me by the end of today, I'll play it when I have Nick Shine on our show tomorrow morning at 9:45. We're doing a Saturday show tomorrow. Dave says, Purple Belt Mike needs Dr. Melfi's couch. He does. I think we all could use Dr. Melfi's couch right now. More calls right now. Let's say hello to Matthias. Hey, Matthias.
Hey, Jake. Can you hear me?
I hear you, Matthias. What's going on?
I have never seen Purple Belt Mike that defeated and that demoralized, and I'm pretty sure that sums up a lot of the fan base right now, what we're going through. I'm defeated, Jake, but I still have, I'm still going to pull for the Jets. I'm still going to support them, just like how I'm a Yankees fan, and watching them blow that game in Game 5, as crushing as that was, I'm always going to be a Yankees fan no matter what. I just wanted to say,
well, for sure. It's also a lot easier to be a Yankees fan when you're coming off the World Series and you go to the playoffs almost every year. True. And then the Jets, who have won one championship 50-something years ago and haven't been to the playoffs in 14 years.
100%. I just want to say, I don't want Rex Ryan. I appreciate what he's done as a head coach for the New York Jets, especially 09, 010, you know, bringing the Jets, bringing us from the depths when we kind of were in a, you know, squandering position like this. I want to say not as bad, but, you know, I appreciate everything that Rex has done, but I'm tired of it, Jake. I don't want, you know, would I appreciate Rex if he was a defensive coordinator for us? Yes, but we all know that's not happening. You know, I think the coaches that I would be really for is, you know, a Monken. I'd be interested in Vrabel. Give me Vrabel. Give me, heck, I would even take Joe Brady. Ben Johnson. Give these guys whatever they want as head coaches, because these are guys, I think, in my personal opinion, that can lead this franchise. They're no nonsense guys. I mean, obviously Ben Johnson, yeah, we don't know too much about him. We just know his success with Detroit. But I feel like he's a guy, an offensive coordinator, but he can be a head coach that can locker room and know.
Matthias, your internet was cutting in and out, but I agree with your point on Monken. I love the experience path. I'm with you. If you can get Ben Johnson, you do it because he's considered the top offensive guy. You hope you found the next Shanahan, McVay, etc. Kevin O'Connell, right? It'd be something different you're trying. I mean, the Jets have never hired the hot offensive coordinator. It's always the hot defensive coordinator. Herm, Mangini, Rex, Bowles, Saleh. I don't think Ben Johnson would choose this job, though. I mean, I'd be shocked. But Vrabel is my number one guy. Can they get him? I don't know. I don't know what Vrabel's looking for. And if the Browns fire Stefanski, what if they hired Mike Vrabel? Well, then I would hire Kevin Stefanski. Vrabel's on the Browns staff right now. In like some role. I don't know if he's a full-time coach. He is. Let's look up Mike Vrabel's official title. Mike Vrabel is a coaching and personnel consultant. Super chat from Bo. Thank you, Bo. Jake, if we get Vrabel, I'm curious what your take is about repairing the defense. What are the moves we can make to solidify our run defense? Well, you got to go out there and sign some defensive tackles that are better than Javon Kinlaw. Sign someone with better gap integrity that's going to be an edge rusher on your team than Michael Clemens. I mean, look, the defensive line will naturally be better next year from the standpoint of you'll have Jermaine back. That helps. But now he's coming off an Achilles, so they gotta beef up the D-line, which was once a strength is now a weakness. Brutal. How about this stat from Dano? Jets have allowed 12.3 points per game at home in 2024, best in the NFL. This is the fewest points per game allowed at home in a single season by any team in the last 10 years. Is that true? I mean, I guess it makes sense. They held New England to 3. Houston held to 13. What are the other home games this year? Buffalo scored 23 on them. So, the Denver only scored 10. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. You know, what's their record at home this year, though, Dano? It's not good enough. I happen to think the Jets win Sunday. I don't know. I have a feeling. But we'll see. If they lost, I wouldn't be surprised. Purple Belt Mike writes, and I'm done having faith in what they do. Prove it. I get it, Mike. That doesn't mean you have to call in and say that no matter what they do, it's not going to work. I mean, eventually it worked for the Lions. They were worse than the Jets. Pierre says, Jake, what are we going to talk about during the bye after we beat the shoe on Sunday? Oh, we'll find something to talk about. You new to the show? Today it was, what's healthier for you, a salad or smoking one cigarette? To which Gary implied that a cigarette is actually healthier than a Caesar salad. And that plants are trying to kill you at all times. And that a stick of butter is an important part of a diet. That happened this morning. Barbarossa is up next on the show. What's up, Barbarossa?
What's going on, Jake? So I've been out of the loop for a little while. So the first thing is tobacco is also a plant. Does Gary know that?
I think he has said that, but he's also said a million things, so it's tough to keep track.
Okay, that's fair. In terms of the coach, I think honestly we got to go with someone like Elon Musk. That guy just can't lose. He's got to be our coach. He's got to be our coach.
Could he buy the Jets? I mean,
he fucking could buy the Jets. Sorry for the language. I apologize. Cheers.
Well, the thing is, the Johnsons have no interest in selling the team, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, that's tough. But in all honesty, it's been tough. But we just got to keep our heads up. And if maybe Elon Musk can't coach the team, maybe somebody maybe we get Bobby Midnight to coach the team. I think Bobby would be a good coach. I'd play for him. I would play for Bobby.
It'd be fun. I'd be intrigued by what his philosophy would be on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, definitely. But I'd play for Bobby, no doubt.
Hey, Bobby, if you're still watching, call in and give us an idea what your pregame speech to the Jets would be Sunday. We'll get a feel for what that might look like.
I would love that. That would be cool. And honestly, Jake, dude, what's that song? Is that guy making up the Colts guy? Is he making up a song? What's the music in the background? Because I can fire up the guitar and the amp. I'd love to write something kind of funny about the Jets, if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure. Go on my Twitter at Jake Asman. The full video's there. He does the genesis of the song is the same every week, and then he adds like 2 lines about whoever they're playing.
Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, all right, cool. So I'll just listen to it. I'll figure out what
this is our Jets. We love them.
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, that's all. It's yeah. But is it okay if it's kind of sarcastic and I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Well, sarcastic. Is that okay? Can I clown it? All right, cool.
That works for me. Yep.
Awesome. All right, I'll see what I can do. Maybe after I make some pizza with the lady, we'll get to that.
All right, Barbarossa, go get him, man. Appreciate your support. Cheers. Love the Friday call from Barbarossa. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight is back. Bob, would you have any interest in being the head coach of the Jets?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
What would the speech be to the team before the game Sunday? Give us a little feel.
Okay. Put me on first. You guys play like girls, first of all.
I don't know if that will work in 2024.
Oh, I don't give a crap. I'm telling them how I feel.
Okay.
You play like girls. You can't tackle. So get out there and kick some ass. Got to wake up and smell the coffee, especially you stink-ass sauce. Can't catch a ball. I could catch the ball. So get out there and whip some Colts ass. If you don't, I'm going to whip your ass. How you doing? How's that?
Tremendous.
This is our cult. This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our cult. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Jets. Let's take down the one true Rodgers. This is our team. Go Colts!
If I'm Jeff Oberg, what I would do is I would show that video before the game to the Jets. That better motivate them, fire them up. But that speech by Bob, I mean, that was vintage Bobby Midnight right there. I mean, I think Tom Mace nailed it with this comment. I'm pumped now. I wasn't before, but now I am. Hell yeah. Let's say hi to Rick, who's next. Hey, Rick.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's up, Rick?
So I just want to let you guys know I kind of did us all a favor. I went ahead and sold my soul today for a win on Sunday. So I'm hoping that with the bye week, I'll have 2 weeks to kind of, work my way out of here. If it works, it works. But if not, then what are you going to do? Oh, hey, MJ. It is hot in here.
You're in hell? You're in down under? Gotcha.
Yeah. Sold my soul. I'm in here now, just hanging out.
They have internet there?
They do. Yeah. It's actually pretty good. It's better than what I had back at home. So I think it's more of a direct line to everybody.
It's honestly better than a lot of our callers' internet connection. So not bad.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
all right, Rick. Well, appreciate you doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah. Wish me luck.
You got it, Rick. Thanks for the time, man. Good luck. He's in Jetel. There it is. Speaking of hell, we quite possibly all might be in hell after this guy's call. SEAL Team 75, assemble.
The clapping seals, they're alive and well in the chat. I just wanted to address the other caller that said that tobacco is a plant. Yes, and eating it will kill you. If you let a toddler eat a cigarette, he'll die, right? Because plants are trying to kill you, right? And also, Jake just made up that I said cigarettes are healthier than salads. He wanted me to say it, and he tried for like a day and a half. He just couldn't do it. So then he just
why
went ahead
don't
and said
you?
it.
But I'm going to ask the question again, Gary, and you can respond however you want. But how you respond says all we need to know about
But you just made that up, right? So
No,
it's
no,
just like
didn't make
you
it up. You
couldn't
implied
get
it.
me to say what you wanted me to say, so you just lied and said I said it.
All right, Gary,
You
let's
tried
have
for
another
a day and a half.
Another opportunity here. You ready? Here we go. What is healthier for me to put in my body today? A Caesar salad or one cigarette? Go.
Neither.
Well, you can't answer neither. You have to pick one. What's the healthier
I
option?
actually don't. It's like saying, should I take crystal meth or heroin? You should probably take neither. What's healthier, crystal meth or heroin? I would say
you're
neither.
saying you're comparing a Caesar salad now to crystal meth or heroin, correct?
No, I compared crystal meth
No.
to
You just
heroin.
said it's like saying, so you just made that comparison. How are you going to spin out
That's
of this
an
one, Gary,
that's
please?
called that's an analogy.
One day Gary will take an L. It won't be today, but one day
You
will,
you want me to take it out? So
Yes,
eating
I do. I think
eating
you've
a
embarrassed
cigarette-
yourself. You've embarrassed your family.
Okay.
You've disgraced the Gary 3D boxing name. All of
Okay,
it.
so tobacco is a plant. Will eating it kill you?
No.
No. So if a toddler eats a cigarette, he won't die.
Why would a toddler eat a cigarette? How does
If
this
a
have anything to do
toddler
with my
ate-
question?
Why is it relevant? It's a yes. If a toddler ate a cigarette, would it die?
Can we go back to my question? I don't
There
care
you
about
go.
your
Say
questions.
that. Just take the L and say that tobacco.
You want me
a
to take
plant,
the L?
was
You're just
consumed by
throwing
a
something
child.
that had nothing to do with the conversation. I
Is
simply
tobacco
want
is
the-
tobacco a plant?
I'll answer your question after you answer my
And if a
question.
child eats it, he will die of plant poisoning, tobacco poisoning.
I will answer your question right after you
I
answer mine.
answered your question.
No, you did
Neither
not.
is healthy for you.
You
Yes,
did
I
not.
did.
It's what's healthier for you, a
Yes,
Caesar salad
neither one.
or
Neither
smoking
one
one
is
cigarette.
healthier. No, there's no health. There's no healthy involved. There's no healthy involved. So if a child
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
Incredible. Incredible. Gary, you're unbelievable. Unreal. What a show. Thank you to everyone who made it special. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll be back in the morning tomorrow. 9:45 a.m. is the projected start time Eastern. So we'll give you a show on Saturday, and then post-game show after Jets Colts Sunday around 6:30 when I get off the radio. Thank you to all who watched. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. You guys are great. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. Appreciate all of you for your support. We'll talk to you next time. Go Jets, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Ready? Everybody mute yourself. Mute yourself.
Light of dawn's early light. What so proud that we hail? We're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, you got one more call? You got enough for one more call? Look at Jackie laughing. I've been waiting in the back. You put that guy on. Who is he? You're ridiculous. Yeah.
So how you doing, Robbie Sable?
Good. What's up, buddy?
No, goodbye, Bobby. See ya.
Jets, Jets, Jets.